What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Red Corner ad. Wow, guys, it has happened. It has happened. Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United. Clem, James, what's happening?
Hey man,
How's
how's
it?
it
How's
going?
it?
Good. Guys, you know how like we've all had shows, we've had a Ruben out show, there's been a lot that's happened. The Leeds thing happened, but little did we know that Monday morning we were gonna wake up
Yeah.
to a hell of a bombshell. What's your guys' reaction? James, let's start with you. What's your reaction to the news?
It caught me by surprise or off guard, just like everyone. But at the same time, look, it's been building. And yeah, it's we've been chatting offline as well. It's one of those things where this was bound to happen. We're just repeating the same things we've seen with the Glazers with Ineos, and it's just shambles really. And what still irks me is you can't tell me it was the fallout or the meeting that happened on Friday that made you realize that, oh, this man might not be the right person.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then after that outburst he had on the press conference, that is the trigger.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No. You
yeah,
know what it felt like? It felt like the club was just like scrambling for a reason, like a PR reason, to say this is the reason, kind of thing, or whatever. And we'll get to this better. I mean later. The whole idea of these guys could tolerate the bad results, but the minute
yeah.
you start trash talking us in the media, that's where they draw the line. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that just now. But Clem, what's your thoughts on the news, man? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those. Where were you? 9/11. Where were you?
Where were you, man? I don't know how I feel, man. I'm still working through it, really. I think I go between kind of happy but still upset, man, at the way these guys are running this club.
Yeah.
It's chaos,
Mm,
man.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is,
yeah.
and we'll get into it now as well. Like I was
Mm.
like, I was so shocked.
Yeah.
But like I mean everyone. That's all about because normally with managers you can see the end like
Yeah.
it's imminent, right?
Mm.
With Emery, you could feel that like he was pissed. He was like prickly in his last couple of press conferences and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I never thought like the end was like so imminent. I thought
Yeah.
like he's maybe like heading into the phase. I think in the group chat I even said like is a dead man walking, but I thought there's still a whole phase and go through
He's
whatever.
still, yeah.
Yeah. The next morning, because I mean you saw the
Mm,
presser, the Leeds presser, and he was
Yeah.
talking about guys, you guys get whatever half information. I'm the
Yeah.
manager, I'm not the coach, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
saw that whole thing. And
Mm.
the biggest thing for me
mm,
that I noticed was in the last two presses. So that thing that he said, sometimes managers go into a presser saying, "I want to say this thing," and then they don't get asked the questions that lead to
And he
that,
has to
and
force
then
it in.
he
He
just
has to
forced it
squeeze it
in,
in.
kind of thing, or whatever. He's
yeah.
been doing that like recently. But yeah, anyways, Monday was a bombshell. But like we've started on it. The problem here, and Clem, you mentioned about James and I were talking about it as well. This guy has been here for 14 months.
Mm.
Last year,
Mm,
cool. He came in mid-season. There was the whole thing. We know this guy's a whole different formation. We don't have the profiles in the team and all of that stuff for him. But they were like, okay, cool. No, get him in now. Let him learn the league and whatever. He'll have a preseason and then he'll start strong. Cool. It was shit, right? 15th, we lost to Spurs in the Europa League final.
Yeah.
Cool. There was a gap there for them to say, guys, you know what? Maybe we took the wrong gamble or whatever. There was an opportunity there. They could have 15th, worst finish in however many. They could have made a
Mm.
decision, but they were like, okay, cool. No, this is our guy. Um, let's back him in the market. Let's give him a preseason. Next year, he's got one game a week. He'll have enough time to get his philosophy through. But he comes in trash, like a mixed bag, better than last season. But the whole better than last season, are we really better than last season? Looking at how the rest of the league table is going, what do you
Mm.
guys think about that? Are we better than last season? Considering as well, we've added Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko. So are we really better, or is it just sort of like, I don't know?
If I go take a step at it, because again we discussed this a lot this year.
Uh,
I kept on saying last season the biggest problem was we could not feed the front three. There was a huge disconnect between our midfield and the front three. This season, obviously, we bought a new front three. We were a bit more direct and we were feeding the front three. But the problem was we were not sustaining the attacks.
yeah,
And we are creating the chances, but we are not taking them. And I'm sure even on the attacking stats, it's quite clear that our XGs are quite high. And last season we were struggling scoring goals. This season was scoring goals. But the problem I always had was we can't sustain the attacks. And in the periods that we are not sustaining the attacks, we can't control the game. And we always give a chance away. And the biggest problem we had last season was even if we do not give a quality chance away, we had Onana as the keeper. This season, at least, you've got a goalkeeper, but we're still giving those chances away. And it speaks to the same theme about midfield. We've got a midfield problem, and we've got a problem with certain fullbacks who just switch off. So playing better, I want to say yes. However, the same issues still persist. And at the same time, it still goes back to the fact of I'm looking at Ineos and Jason Wilcox, the whole band, in a sense of do they understand the profile of Man United and where we want to go, the sort of manager we brought in? Because if you do not give Amorim the tools for his system, we are going to end up in a place that we are right now. And it's going to be very difficult for me to say it's Ruben's fault, but at the same time, Man United way manager of Man United adapts. So he should have learned by now how the league works, how the club is, and adapted. And that's where I can put a finger at him to say, yeah.
You know
Sorry,
what it
go for
feels.
it.
You know what it feels. Sorry, I cut you off there. You know what it feels like. It feels like Ruben Amorim crammed management. It feels like he crammed it. He chose his system. It was like he looked at it. He's like, yes, there's a lot of formations here. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna cram it, cram whatever, and I'm gonna know this one kind of thing. Because like, I don't know if you guys saw the article from New York Times today, Athletic. So it was it's Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, all the top tier guys for Man United.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes that was damning for me was that like Ruben, I think it was in one of the chats that he was having with Wilcox on the sideline during training kind of thing. And you know, they're often talking about formation and blah blah blah. And he basically told Wilcox that like he basically said without saying this whole squad is crap, so we need to change everyone. That's basically what he said, right? So that's unrealistic. Like, yes, there's backing the manager, but like, you can't change the whole squad, like the entire squad. Like, so for me, it's like for him, it's like, okay, cool, I get it. You don't have all the profiles, but which players have you helped bridge the gap between where they are and where you need them to be? Like, if we honestly go through the squad, which players, and more simply ask, which players has he improved?
Yeah,
Because
that's a hard one for him.
there was stuff like in training, like they do routines where they walk tactics. So like you're on the pitch, you're walking, whatever is speaking positions, and the whole time he's having to go to players and like physically grab them and be like, no, you must be here, you must be here. It's like, bruh, like your idea, are you good at communicating your idea, Mr. Poet? You know, like people are not, they don't understand your system fully. And that also leads to the stupid mistakes that we do, right? Because people are like in their heads, oh, must I be here? Must I be there? I don't know, whatever. And like, you know, that, and we know hesitation in the Premier League is a killer. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
But you know, the problem with this whole Amorim thing is he's given us so many like sticks to beat him with, you know. It's like there's so many ways you can come at him, you know. And I think the football one, I think objectively, you talk about you know, you opened up by asking, are we doing better? Objectively, I suppose you'd have to say yes, you know, based on the log. based on kind of like you know league position. He can genuinely say, look, the team is moving forward, and within reason. We were all looking at hovering around Europe. That's like realistic expectations, right? But one of the things that I think is interesting with this Amorim thing is we've United have had this culture of like problematic players, right? Like players being above like the club, above the manager or head coach because he wasn't manager. I also like the disconnect there. He's like a manager, but it's like, no, you're not. And it's like it's not right for him to especially we've really United have, and we've actually made progress in like we've so many guys have been frozen out, kicked out of the club. If you dissent, if you're not a team player, you get the hell out. And it sounds like Amorim, on the basis of nothing, on the basis of a seven of like almost getting relegated and losing a Europa League final, this guy just walks in and thinks he's the boss of Man United, like that. He's not accountable to anyone. I also found that like there's a bit of a disconnect. I don't know. It's like based on what, dog? Based on like some Portuguese league team, like you just really think you just rock up and like you rewrite the it's like you don't have that much courage in the back. You need to humble yourself. Also, you need to like work together. Like as much as you can say these guys are problematic, but these guys do have like football pedigree. There's lots of guys to like lean on, and listen to, and exchange ideas. But just the complete disconnect from him. He was becoming, from the sounds of it, he was also becoming like a bit of a prima donna. And then it's like, as an owner, you can't allow someone to like disrespect you like that.
What does Drake say? Bench players talking like starters. I hate it. Like, I mean, the Portuguese league is not even in the top 5 leagues that we keep talking about. So, like, it's exactly that. This guy's speaking like he's some Klopp, or like he's got some Conte or like Mourinho type pedigree, and like therefore like my way or the highway. It's like, dude, you're blessed to be here. Actually, you're on borrowed time here. Your performances don't deserve you being here, or you don't deserve through your performances, kind of. But so Darren Fletcher, Mr. Under 18s coach.
Yeah, look, I'm going back to what Clem was mentioning regarding the mini sticks that we can beat him with. The other one that also irked me, and like again, I keep on thinking of the United way. Him labeling the academy or some of the academy players as they are not playing or not good enough. I'm trying to remember the left back who's on loan to Sheffield Wednesday when he mentioned that he's not doing. Yes, Harry Amas. And then he shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Posted on Instagram that, hey, but I'm player of the month. What are you talking about? So it's that thing of, as the United manager, you're alienating our core being, which is the academy. You just don't do that. I do not know what else was happening with the other academy guys who are not getting minutes. And the Leeds game also frustrated me, but also the 2 Pride games, in a sense that you had Dogu working as a right forward or whatever he was playing.
Shocking.
And then now you revert back to a 3-4-3 and you put in so many defenders, and you've got a Shea Lacey there as well. Like, I'm just trying to understand, like,
the Dogu thing was wild. I like had to scratch my eyes when I was like, I can't believe Dogu's playing like,
especially because like he was playing like he played a man of the match game against Newcastle, right? But first half he was playing right wing. Second half we moved him to left wing and he fiddled and stuff. And we were under the pump, and like dude, like we like Newcastle should have won that game. We dug deep, we did it, but we were under the pump. So you're like saying, okay, you can see just within this one game, you can see what worked, what didn't work. And then the thing about Wolves, the thing, when someone gets sacked, all the stuff starts coming up. The whole thing that this dude trained with a back 4, and then basically the day of the game or whatever, when he picked the team, he chose a back 3 in the team kind of thing. But they've been training with a back 4 the whole time. And even like pre-game they were training on the field with a back four, and then when the game started it was a back three, and I'm like, you do stuff like that when you're playing Barcelona in a Champions League final, when you wanna like play mind games, you don't want them to know your system, and like it's fine margins, and you want to get whatever little advantage. You don't do that when you're playing Wolves, who had 2 points at the midpoint of the season. Like like why are you playing mind games with Wolves? Why are you setting up to nullify Wolves, who have 2 points at like game week 19 or whatever it was? Like, like so that was one of the big things, and I think it was in the article as well. They're like, this guy, like, it's like he fears the Premier League, kind of thing, and then like they just super negative, and like it's always like defense first, protection first, and then we'll see whatever. And that's not the brand of football that we like. Like even like this guy makes Mourinho look like he was playing fluid football,
No, 100%. Like it's just too negative, and yeah, the Leeds game, guys. I was just watching nonsense. I couldn't.
Poor quality. Poor.
It was just nonsense. It's as if we were a championship team.
Yeah.
Just nonsense. There was a goal we scored. Apparently, it's offside, and I still don't get it. Maybe it affected the mood, but at the same time, yeah, like no, as Clem mentioned, too many sticks that we can use to beat him with. And at the same time, you really want to have a hard conversation with Jason Wilcox, Sir Jim as well, because they're the ones who created this mess, in my view.
Yeah.
And it has now the chickens have come back home to roost.
Yeah. Remember that picture that did the rounds? It was during Wolves, I think, where it had Sir Jim and Jason Wilcox in a heated thing, and Sir Jim was like pointing his finger and blah blah blah. Apparently, in that game, he was complaining about the system and whatever, and he was telling Wilcox that talk to your boy, because I'm like this, and like some of the stuff that comes out, bro, like it's crazy. They're like, so Jim is talking about using Bumo as a wing back, and like back four, like it's such a problem. Like I think we must like, outside of Wilcox and whether he can do the job and whatever, you wonder, is Sir Jim, is he a problem here? Like,
well, he's supposed to be a lifelong Man United fan, right? That's the problem here. It's like you're stuck with the owner. It's a tricky one with the owners, because it's like, how do you sack the manager, but the owners remain, and the approach and the mindset and everything remains. So it's a tricky one.
Yeah, I blame him fully. Look, if you're the owner, you must hire the right football guys, and based on the people that you put on into those seats, you should have the trust in them. But if he did really indeed tell Amorim that you must change the system, it sort of irks me. But at the same time, as mentioned, Man United fan, the only thing I can say to him would be, you can look at Nottingham Forest as well as an example, because I think last season they almost made the Champions League, and this season I think they are fighting relegation. And I would always say the main reason is the owner was interfering. He had a good thing going on and he interfered. So this is what can happen if owners just meddling too much. He must trust the people that he's put in power to make football decisions.
Yeah, and and then like all sorts of stuff breaks now. Like the Glazers are like, oh no, we don't. We're not sure that Jason Wilcox has the pedigree to be a director of football, and like they wanted Amorim out a long time ago. So now supposedly all these guys who were supposed to be in the background now, they've got opinions, and the opinions are louder and louder and louder, and they are the majority shareholders. So it like it's just. It's a monster. Manchester United is a monster. It's like Frankenstein. There's Ineos here. There's Glazers in the back. There's all sorts of stuff. And it's like, how do you set clear direction when there's just like a little bit of everything and everything is just going on? It must be a nightmare to deal with. But that said, my guy, as a manager, You still put the teams out, you make the decisions, and whatever's going on in the back end, it doesn't affect your in-game management. So you follow your sword there. But anyways, yeah, I think what annoyed me the most is that Ruben was like, he was happy afterwards, the fist bumping photographers and whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just like, no, bro, go, bro, go.
yeah, but then look, you also need to. It's like, what is he supposed to do, right? It's like he's, he gets his money, he gets his check, life goes on. And the real problem then it's like, then you turn your attention to like the management and the owners. Like, guys, you guys are this is nonsense.
Yeah.
Amorim's gone, bro. He walks away with his money. Life goes on.
Yeah,
but we're still stuck with those damn owners.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, anyways, back to now. So Amorim's gone now. Darren Fletcher in for 2 games. It seems Burnley. What's after Burnley? Is it City direct? No. There's something else before
FA
City.
Cup. I think it's FA Cup.
I think World Cup. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, FA Cup, and then is it Brighton in the FA Cup? Was it Brighton?
I think so.
I think it's Brighton. Yeah. So Burnley and Brighton, and then we play City. So they're saying that they want to get someone in ahead of the City game. They want like some stability there. So we've got Darren Fletcher. Darren Fletcher in the under-18s, he plays 4-3-3. He, like, I don't know if you've seen, the guys are quick with the edits and with the videos as soon as something happens. And like, there's a lot of videos about Darren Fletcher saying, like, he shows the under-18s like videos. He wants like fast attacks and whatever, the Man United way. I show them videos of Rooney. I can't remember what he said, like Rooney, Ronaldo, Park Ji-sung or whatever. But like the fast attacks and whatever, it must be end to end, high pace, full on attack, and that's his philosophy. And we'll see how it goes. He seems to be a better manager than Oli in terms of management.
But
this is the big time now. We'll see.
It's also very untested. That's the thing. It's also very untested. But I have a question about this. This approach now moving forward is, at which point do you kind of accept like that they're club guys and they're guys who know the DNA of the club, and at which point do you say you actually just need the right person for the job, regardless of what the bias is, connection to the club? Because I think sometimes it gets in the way now, because that's also been a problem, right? Because at least now Darren Fletcher, Gary Neville has a direct line into United, and that's also, and Amorim was also complaining about that, and like the criticism, and we've also spoken about the criticism from the ex-players. I wonder if this United men, the United way, is also kind of is also not being handled properly. Because we've done, remember, Solskjaer wasn't the only United guy, right? We've had Rude before, we've gone through this thing.
But Rude did well, right? I mean, it was a short time. It was just until he did well. Let's see. Let's go back to the beginning. Giggs was the first caretaker we ever had, or in modern history, anyways. Giggs, I can't remember how Giggs did.
No,
he was okay, right? He was okay, but like that was proper interim, going out the door. Then we had LVG, we had Mourinho. Oli was the second caretaker. Oli as caretaker killed it, and then obviously got the job. We know how that went. When Oli got sacked, Michael Carrick. It was Carrick first before. Carrick won Oli's games. He was killing it. Yes. And then Ragnick came, and then we know how that went. And Ragnick was the last. Ragnick was the last interim. Ten Hag.
The last one was Rude.
Rude. Yes.
So then I suppose, just to condense the question, are we trying to say that the only way to do the United way is with a United man, or there's another way of thinking about it?
So for me, I think I need a guy who I need a proper bona fide coach, like a manager, one established one, and we'll talk about targets just now. But like, I need a guy who's been in the game, a guy who's a G, a guy whose name commands respect. What I do think, the whole United DNA thing, I think it's good maybe to have a guy in the fray, like as one of the assistants. You can have your main assistant, and you just have all of those fluff assistants who are just there for vibes. Like you can have the United guy as that guy. So the guy comes in, his trusted assistant comes in, and then just have an extra role just to give that connection to history or whatever the case is, and just explain certain things about the history that maybe an outsider wouldn't know. But yeah, that's about as far as I think it needs to go.
In my mind, I'm taking it back to the top to say I'm still very bitter about Dan Ashworth, by the way. But anyhow, I need someone with the right football experience of managing a big club to work with Jason Wilcox. I shudder to think that's our guy as director of football. That's number one. Number two, based on what we've been through and what we know, someone with Premier League pedigree, so that at least we know this person knows how the league works and would adapt. Or I think you're going to have to find a unicorn of a manager, because you went through Mourinho, you went for the best of the best. If he was past his best, that's fine. But the thing is, we went for the world-class managers. It did not work. We went for the United DNA manager in Ole, and as much as I want to say it worked, but we also strung him, but at the same time, he was not good enough. We know where that path goes. We've tried the Ten Hag path. We've tried Ruben's path. The thing is, something has to give way. We get to a point where, as a club, we know the direction that we want to go into, how we feed players from the academy and the players that we sign. And you just get the manager or head coach that speaks to that philosophy.
Yeah.
Because if we now get a manager who thinks differently and we want to operate differently, we're going to be the same place again in a year or two's time.
So well, there's a manager today whose name just, well, not even his name came into the fray in terms of United thing, but like the breaking news: a man who was recently offered a lifetime contract at PSG, and he turned it down, and he's saying the noises are saying he's looking for a new challenge. Luis Enrique.
Is City the new challengers at us?
Exactly. There's also a City job might be open as well. Huh?
Yeah, City might be open. Who are they linked to? They're linked to Maresca. They're linked to. So it was Maresca and I wonder if they still want Ruben Amorim. Like whatever cases. But yeah, City isn't thing, because it does seem like Pep is leaving.
Yeah.
But that would be a hell of a coup if we got that guy. I think the football that he plays it's the closest to United DNA in terms of the pace, in terms of the attack, in terms of that. Yes, he's got his own thing or whatever, but I think it's the closest there. I don't know about Xavi, and I don't think Xavi is even in consideration. The guys we are linked to is Areola.
Basically everyone.
Oliver Glasner, Thomas Tuchel, Poch. Mauricio Pochettino.
I heard Ancelotti one as well after the World Cup.
Yeah, that Ancelotti Brazil experiment is not gonna work out, I don't think.
Yeah, sure. Look, again, if we get Luis Enrique, it's a thing of the way he plays football. We need to give him his players. It's the same thing over again. If you shortchange him, we're gonna be at the same place again. Yeah, these other managers say, I think these guys must just take their time before picking the right one. But Luis Enrique feels like a no-brainer, if indeed that's...
Yeah, like I even think like Luis Enrique players, if like it doesn't work out with him, his type of players are like, they're ballers, like it's okay, you can work with these guys, so yeah, no, let's see how that goes. But otherwise, before all of this news, I think the big talk was Tuchel. The talk is that Tuchel we had talks with him, and he didn't want to take the job because they had this whole framework, this whole head coach thing. And Tuchel's a guy who wants power, and like he wants his players, and he's a guy who calls out the board. He's an Antonio Conte type guy, a Mourinho type guy in terms of like the personality and like his robust nature. So does he fit into the new system? Will he be listening to Jason Wilcox? It's like, so there's that. So I wonder how realistic that is. Poch, I think, will come.
Yeah, but
Poch will be desperate.
Yeah, but when we were chatting about in the group, so maybe you don't need such a robust character. Maybe you need someone who's more willing to be a team player, which is why Gareth Southgate from the outside also makes a lot of sense. Just for the structure, he just seems like the kind of guy who just kind of work well with the chaos.
He fits that. I think I just think with Southgate immediately there's a ceiling to where we're gonna reach. We will never be elite under Southgate. We will be like good at best. Yeah, and that's it. Although I think the England experience would have at least helped him, because I mean, like he gets a taste of the English press, but like it's not the same. Manchester United is a different animal.
From what I understand from Southgate now, and like I'm not mad at Southgate because I understand him to be more like the manager type thing and he relies on a team of like really strong coaches. Like he had Ashley Cole, Hasselbank at a point, and guys who are like
Gary Neville.
he had like guys coaching, and he was just more responsible with kind of patching together the team spirit and stuff like that. And I wonder if maybe
Oli basically. That's Oli.
And then even when they say that they're looking at Ole, Fletcher, and Carrick, I'm like, why not all of them? Imagine if you could somehow get them to work together. All of them kind of like doing different roles, just considering the kind of just how everything is such a shambles.
Well, I think the question is, because now since then Oli had it, Carrick and McKenna were doing the coaching. McKenna is McKenna still at Ipswich, or has he?
I think so.
Has he gone?
I think so.
McKenna was there. Carrick had a good spell at Middlesbrough. Eventually got sacked, but I think he did like really well in general. So the question is, would Carrick come back as Oli's assistant now that he's tasted the full-blown managerial thing? Or is he gonna want to be the main guy now? Because the stories first they were like, no, it's either Oli or Carrick, but then I've also seen stories where they're like, no, it could be Oli with Carrick and Fletcher in support and whatever. I think that's the best case scenario, just to see us through. Get Oli, Carrick, Fletcher, unless we're gonna find our permanent target now. But like, these guys need time. They must sit down and think about it properly before they make any rash decisions. So,
somehow I would opt for Carrick first, only because Ole had his chance. I'm a big Ole fan. United football with Ole at times it got us on our feet, but I would rather have Carrick, give him a chance first than Ole.
Yeah, I wonder if Ole would come back as support for Carrick. I don't think so.
He said he would work for free, so hey.
I have a question, man. So if we are finally free of this three at the back story, what is like a hypothetical 4-3-3 for United with everyone fit, everyone available? I'll be interested to know what you guys think there. What is United's 4-3-3? What does that look like?
So let's see. Obviously, Lamens, De Ligt, and Eden Heaven now has actually been like, I'm wondering, I wouldn't want to put De Ligt and Maguire. De Ligt and Heaven on current form, I would say. But I mean, basically it could be De Ligt, Heaven, it could be De Ligt Euro, it could be
Yeah.
centre backs. I think we've got a few options. Kind of thing. Right back, Mazraoui as a right back.
Yeah, sure.
Left back, we've got a problem. Because do we have a left back that's actually functional? Maybe Dogu, because now you're asking a bit less of him. I mean, he must still overlap and stuff, but you're asking a bit less than him than Ruben was asking him to do. Because Luke Shaw, we know, is going to break down, so he's disqualified automatically. What other options do we have? Dalot, no, I don't like that guy. Who else do we have at left back?
We have a problem. We have a problem at left back.
Yeah, for me, we've got a problem both at left back and right back.
Yeah.
In terms of quality.
Yeah, quality.
I would still pick Luke Shaw until he breaks down.
Which is
the devil that you know.
Yeah.
It's the devil that you know. On the right back, the only problem I have with Mazraoui is going forward. And at the same time, Dalot, it's like, he can be so brilliant. And then at that moment, you're like, the fuck are you thinking?
5 minutes. All it takes is 5 minutes.
And Lisandro, I think, has been good since coming back from injury.
He's been good.
So
but I don't know if he can play on the flank. I feel like he's.
Oh, you can move him to midfield.
Yeah. So moving on with the more traditional. So 3. You could go,
and then this is where the questions actually start. This is where the person coming in actually has a lot of work to do.
You could go, like, I think it's not ideal, but I mean, we're saying this is what we're doing until we get to the end of the season thing. You could go Cass, Kobe, Bruno in the middle.
Sure.
And then you've got Mbumo, Cunha, Sesko. Or you have Ahmad, Cunha, Mbumo. Or because that's the thing, you've got that problem now with Mbumo and Ahmad in 4-3-3. Who starts? And it feels, Ahmad might start, over Mbumo. But I don't know. Then does Sesko become the 4 guy? You'll figure it out. But I mean, I think as a start, let's just go to the midfield. What do you guys think? So I suggested Cass, Kobe, Bruno. It's a bit because Cass doesn't have the legs. But Ugarte would be better in a 3 though. He would be better.
I think we need to. I think Ugarte needs to. We need to end the Ugarte story. It's just not working. It's not working out today. So
look, it's not.
He's not a serious.
Luis Enriquez will come and sell him again.
Yeah.
So
I think on my side, 4-3-3 looks difficult because the no-brainers you mentioned, Bruno, Cass, and Mainu. Another part of me feels like, if we are not sure about how we play, just put Casemiro, Ugarte, and then Bruno up front. And if we need to change the game, Mainu can come in. Because at least Ugarte knows how to play in that system, and Casemiro knows how to play a ball, even though it's a miracle pass at times. But 4-3-3.
4-2-3-1 maybe is what you go for. 4-2-3-1. Cass, Ugarte, pivot.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Not exciting, but
yeah. So that's what we're expecting to see tomorrow, man, and that's it. And we move on. None of this 3 turning into 5, turning into 6.
Tomorrow you're gonna see 4-3-3 with a midfield 3 Fletcher, and player coach Fletcher.
It's time to scoop some appearances there.
Yeah, I think because of all the nepotism stuff, I think he specifically won't play his. I think he knows the heat that's gonna come there. Yeah. So yeah, man. Interesting times in the life of Manchester United. Who'd have thunk it, bro? Like I think back and I think I'm never going to hear, guys, we need to suffer. we're going to suffer. That's that word, bro. That suffer word, bro. We've suffered enough, bro.
And another thing about Amorim is he also didn't have a good command of like the media and like messaging and speaking, and it was all just a bit chaotic. It's like, bro, you don't have to say everything. It's like, I know that it's new age, millennial energy type thing, but it's like, you don't have to say everything all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to be doing like podcasts and interviews all the time. Just win, dog. Just get like, you're talking on the pitch, dog. Like the absolute fundamentals.
Yeah. That's the problem. Like it feels like he was immature, and like I was waiting for him to fix up in terms of like his pressers and stuff, and he just never did. And like it's like, my guy, don't you get like media training? Like what's going, like I feel like I could do a better job, and like I know nothing, bro. I'm not a manager. I want to like in the presses. I feel like certain things, bro. You don't have to say that. Like, what are you doing? So we'll see. We'll see. What do you guys? Speaking of Kobe, who's obviously taken a sensu bean and will be back to full fitness now that Amorim's gone. Did you see his activity on Instagram last night?
These. No, I try not to read too much into these things because then it just gets like out of control.
I saw on Twitter,
what is it?
And then I was like, is it AI? And then I went and I checked, and I was like, oh no, this is legit. So there's a guy, I forget what the handle is called. This guy's jokes or something like that, and he was making memes about Amorim and United, like memes like Amorim and his background stuff. Counting the money that they're gonna do, and like people laughing. Kobe likes him, and like there were stories that like Amorim and his staff, when they were sacked, then they were like joking and laughing loud, as they were making their way out, and like so club sources were shocked. They're like, my guys, why are you so happy? You just lost your jobs. Kobe liked that. There's like basically all the posts were shots at Amorim. And he went and he was liking all of that stuff. And I don't know, man, it felt very Garnacho-y. It felt very Garnacho-y. And then there was that whole thing. They were like, oh no, Kobe's brother is going to behave now. Kobe has withdrawn his transfer request now. He wants to stay. His brother will behave. When Amorim got sacked, Kobe's sister posted like a picture of her smiling or something like that, So it's like, is this really just Galacho all over again? Or what do you guys make of it?
Yeah, man, I can't say much about such behavior. Because we'll also have to speak about Harry Amas as well after Ruben's comments. So, in short, like I said before, I don't think Ruben was for the younger guys or the academy unless you behaved in a specific way. Maybe that's how your Aiden Heavens were, I don't want to say getting favors, but they stuck to a mandate, and obviously 3 central backs you are eventually going to play. But other than that, like I'm trying to remember, was Garnacho like this with Ten Hag, or is it an Amorim Garnacho? And now it's spilling over to Mainu, and knowing Mainu and Garnacho are good mates as well.
I think Garnacho was like this with Ten Hag as well.
Yeah.
And like,
okay, cool,
for me, the thing I'll never forgive with Garnacho is the leaking of the team sheets, man. That pissed me off, because you're killing your club now. But man, it is. I just
it opens up a lot of questions. I suppose it's a story for the summer, but then what happens to Rashford now as well? I saw something about old Marcus as well. I'm like, hey man, I'm sure everyone's celebrating now. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's gonna be a. I saw a random thing, although like this is Rashford. Fermin, what's that Fermin guy, the Barcelona guy?
Yeah.
He,
Was it
he
Fermin Lopez? Yeah.
Fermin Lopez, like he reposted like I think Fabrizio's thing to say that Amorim has been sacked and blah blah blah, and he went and he reposted it on the thing. Like people were like, Fermin, what's why are you happy that Amorim has been sacked? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And then, like, let's just Rashford with his Bella.
Yeah.
These guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see,
Yeah, but-
gents. We go again, a new era again. Well, I mean, heck, we don't even know what's going on beyond the FA Cup. We'll have a look. I just hope Fletcher has. Amorim cheated us of a new manager bounce. We never got a bounce with Amorim. I just remembered we never got a bounce.
At the very least, at the very least.
And that just sums up everything, actually. So
Yeah.
let's hope Fletcher's bounce is substantial, and we can at least, because I mean we're not too far from the top four, but we're also not too far from like
No,
top
yeah.
14.
I think Amorim did, if it's just based on like results, there were so many points dropped that could be crucial at the end of the season, man. Everton, Bournemouth, those points, man, and then that's the issue with this thing is we're going to be suffering at the end of the season, and my man is long gone.
Yeah.
And there were some big points dropped, so things also need to turn around quickly.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Yeah.
And I guess on that note as well, I will say we're just fortunate that Chelsea were struggling, and also Liverpool. Well, they've been struggling for the longest of times, and that's the only reason why we're still within touching distance or a point away.
So it's so with where we are with the current situation. I know there's a question mark on the caretaker manager and stuff, but like, what does that do to season expectations? What are we? Let me actually just put the table up. So we are same points as Chelsea. We are 3 points away from Liverpool, who are fourth. So 3 points away from the top four. Liverpool's playing Arsenal this coming match day. But we are also I want to find Spurs, use them as a yardstick. Spurs is in 13th, and we are 4 points away. So if Everton playing Wolves, but the goal difference. But like, okay, Brighton is 10th. Brighton could overtake us if we don't win. And they win. They're playing City, but like, so it's like, we could make it into the top 4, but we could also be out of the top 10, like in this next match day. But anyways, we're 3 points away from the top 4. Season's expectations now. I know it's difficult without knowing who the caretaker manager is, but we have to assume that like vibes will be back or whatever. Well, it's not that the players were hated Amorim that way, but like back 4, people a bit more comfortable. Maybe we'll see a bit more, from their talent and whatever. Where do you expect to finish this season?
Well, I would say, it mostly remains the same. I think whoever comes in has the original goal within reach. So it remains qualify for Europe.
When we say Europe, what's Europe? I know we had this chat before, but like just
at least Europa League, Champions League is the biggest, is the highest achievement we can get, but I don't think the expectations change dramatically because they're still within reach technically. So qualify for Europe, top 5, maybe top 6. I think 6th place might squeeze you into Europa League as well.
Yeah, because
and that's it.
If English teams do well, I mean, last year or for this season, English teams got the 5th place because of the coefficient of the English league.
Yeah.
If Arsenal, I mean, still there, Chelsea's there, Liverpool's still there. I think it's reasonable to think that 5th might be a Champions League spot as well again this coming season.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I say 5th, man. Like, I think we need Champions League, man. We not even to money. We need Champions League. Europa League money and Champions League money are completely different. And I know Barada said we've budgeted for Europa money, and the numbers balance with Europa money. But like, man, if we're gonna rebuild this thing, man, we need a war chest. So fifth, man, we have to get that fifth. It's doable because we just have to beat one team. It's either Aston Villa drop off, or Liverpool continue to be iffy, or we just have to beat Chelsea, and we're on the same points. That's all. We just need to beat one team at the moment. So yeah.
I want to say that's asking for a lot, but it's not asking for a lot.
Fletcher Ball, bro. The Man United way is coming back.
And it's like a part of me wants to say we should have a chance, especially if Chelsea replacing Maresca with, is it Liam Rosena? And a part of me is like, you know what? We should have a decent chance.
Yeah. And this Rosenia guy, though, as well as that, like he's never won 3 games in a row.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were like he was the assistant to Rooney when Derby got relegated. Although I don't think that was fully on Rooney because I think he came in when it was already like kind of like almost dead. But anyways.
But didn't he make it in because the owners own the other club as well? Isn't that like the real plug there?
Yeah. They just transferred him from the living room to the lounge. That's what they did.
Yeah.
But he did say. They say he did get Strasbourg into Europe after 19 years. So I suppose that's an achievement. But it's also in the French league, and they need to balance it out.
The Premier League is a whole different ballgame, right? The Premier League is a whole different ballgame, and then also the other stat that's been floating around is that the top 3 managers are also the managers who've been in their job for the longest time: Pep, Arteta, and Emery. So at some point you have to stop this hiring and firing story. Like I think that's almost a fact now. You unfortunately need to give a guy time, otherwise you will never.
But the guy must also earn time. So I hear that. Like I think for me, I think as United fans, because we come from the background of Sir Alex and United, where you stick behind. Like the crowd was still singing Ruben Amorim, like even just now. He'll bring the glory days again. He'll turn the Reds around, but like, then he never did. So it's like, as well, like, I am happy to be a second club to an extent, right? until we find somebody who's at least meet us halfway, dog. Meet us halfway. Show us that if we trust you, you are able to do something. The problem with the Ruben Amorim is we gave him all this trust, and my dude was just like, fam.
He was playing us, yeah.
So at least meet us halfway, then yes, we can build with you. But like, if you're already showing us I'm inflexible, I'm whatever, we keep going.
Yeah.
Anyways, gents, let's hope next time we speak, we are talking about the swashbuckling football of Darren Fletcher having beaten Burnley 4-0.
Oh man, I think my kind of like realistic expectation. We had started on a road of boring 1-0 victories at Newcastle, and I was like, yo, this is it, man. Just do this for the next 3 games, So I'm ready to claim, the rest of my 3 or 4 1-0 clean sheets, no nonsense. Just consolidate for now, man. I really wouldn't mind if the swashbuckling comes later.
Ahmad keeps on scoring, man. Like so Ahmad is still at AFCON, but on Friday, either Mazraoui or Mbumo's coming back, and North American tax there. Morocco's gonna make their way through. We'll get Mbumo back, hopefully.
Well, the problem with Ahmad scoring, the more he scores, the more he stays.
That's the problem. But at least for the Manchester derby, Mbumo will be back, it seems like. Unless, if Morocco comes, Mazraoui will help, but I'd rather have Mbumo back. So
Bafana had one job.
Bruh, bring Boomer home, bruh. We had one job. Hey, dog. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, hopefully we will get a good result. I do not really care about how we get that result as long as it's not 3 at the back.
yeah. No, let's.
And also, please, can we have a run in the FA Cup?
Yes.
Just
yes,
a run.
well.
That's
But it's a tough game.
we don't need to win it, but yeah. No,
tough
fair.
game.
But
To
at
start,
least make us hope. Like it's been this season, the way it started, it felt like the season might be over before it has started.
Bro, you're making me annoyed about Grimsby again, bro. like, that didn't need to happen, bro. It didn't need to happen.
And it happened. And it literally felt by August, September, the season was done.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully Fletcher can just get 2 good results. Then we'll take it from City and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes, man. Now, like I think we've been through the cycle so many times. Now it's just let's wait and see, man. Like I can't even be excited about. Like I'm happy that Ruben is gone, that the suffering is over, but like we've still got Ineos to contend with, like we're saying.
Yes.
Or Glinios, as we're calling them now, Glazers, Ineos. So yeah, we don't know that they're gonna make the right call. Yeah.
They have to. If they mess it up again, it's like I'll still say Berada, Wilcox, they should be shown the door.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, gents, have a good one. Let's hope for a good match day.
We'll see.
Up Darren Fletcher's mighty Reds. Let's go. Let's go.